What's up? What's up? What's up, my beautiful, diverse American people? I tell you guys all the time I love everybody. And with that said, I'd like to introduce you to my new co-host. This little dude here is Granite. One of my crew named him. And I think it fits him perfectly because it's a strong name that fits into this crazy and impossible challenge that I've taken on to be your next president. And solely on the knowing that we the people deserve better and we the people can do more through leadership fueled by love and intelligence rather than the beta boy, cowardly, fearful and fear-mongering ignorance and hatred that we're seeing from the criminal syndicate war regime that some of you are happy with, But to start today, I just wanted to introduce you to Granite, which will be probably co-hosting a lot of these videos moving forward. He's a pretty chill dude. And just welcome my buddy Granite right here to the show. He's been pretty cool. He just kind of found me, how some people say you go out and you adopt a pet. Nah, they adopt us. This guy went into a backyard, home of 3 dogs, next to 2 homes with 2 large dogs each. This little guy climbed a huge piece of wood, crawled in through a little hole to find me. Because there was no other reason for him to come into that yard. There was no food. There was a bunch of dogs. Would have been instant death had he not known why he was coming in there. And that's the same knowing that I say when we the people can do better. So I love you all. I love Heather so much. And I love every one of you. Anton, Jack, Gilbert, Jose, Julio, Snowstorm. Welcome, guys. God bless you. I'm George Delata. And if you've watched any of my videos or ever see me, come up and talk to you guys here, I want to be your next president. I'm not a billionaire, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a politician, I'm not a communist, I'm not a socialist, I'm not a real Democrat, I'm not a real Republican, I'm not a real libertarian, I'm not a Marxist, I'm a fucking American. That's it, guys. And as a fucking American, I know we can do better. And because you see a little, kind of a lot of white in my beard means that I actually lived and experienced a time in our country where we were proud to call ourselves the melting pot of the world. And it was a beautiful time of love and intelligence and all the diversity and talent and music and art and the explosion of American prosperity that fueled out of that angered the wrong people, the betas who are fearful of us, fearful of you ladies because you are the ones they fear most. So I come with a message of love, of intelligence, and the fact that we've never had a president who comes directly out of we the people. We've had military leaders rise to the office. We've had political leaders rise to the office. We've actually had entertainers reach the office. Actors rise to the office. But we've never had one of us. Why is that? We've never had a president rise directly out of we the people. And that's because we don't elect who we want. We have a system where the wealthy position themselves so that you get to pick amongst them. That's not real democracy. That's not the vision of the founding fathers' nation built solely on freedom. Because that's the only reason that they wrote a Dear John letter to King George to say, look, this isn't what we want, brother. We want freedom. And they took on the biggest army on the planet for freedom. That's it. That was the only reason. They did not set out to build a Christian nation. They did not set out to build a white nation. They set out to build a nation built solely on freedom. The very freedoms that are under attack, that they're weaponizing against you by beta boys who fell ass backwards into wealth, bought themselves a presidency for the benefit of profit. That's it. They keep saying, oh, we're taking in so much money. We're taking in so much money. Yeah, motherfucker, it's coming out of our pockets. It's coming out of Nellie's pockets, coming out of Bill's pockets, coming out of Maria's pockets, coming out of Larry. It's coming out of your pockets, guys. Coming out of our pockets. All that money they're taking in. And they don't even know where the money is. Because the point is taking it in, not doing anything with it. So that's kind of the situation where we're in. Like I said, I want to be your next president. I'm not a billionaire. I can't fund a campaign. Just to officially say that you're running for president and that you are a candidate, you have to pay. There's a huge amount of money you got to pay just to play. I can't fund that. It's up to you. It would be up to you, the people. Because, again, I say it in every video, it's the most important thing that I want you guys to learn. When Abraham Lincoln said that the people are the rightful masters of both the courts and the Congress, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who would pervert our Constitution. And we see a daily perversion of our Constitution. This man stood before cameras and said that he did not know if it was his job to protect the Constitution. What is in the damn oath that you take to be president? But remember, he didn't even put his hand on the Bible this time, and the Christian men did. So he didn't know if it was his job to protect the Constitution. Well, I guarantee you, no, Artie, Mark, I guarantee you, every single one of you guys, that I know that a president's job is to protect the Constitution. Not to have lawyers pervert, manipulate, and distort the Constitution for their agenda, which is what we're seeing. A perversion of our laws, a perversion of our Constitution against we the people. So I want to put an end to that, if you guys want. So, over the past few days, we saw the weaponization against political opponents with the James Comey indictment. I hate to say that it's surprising. It's not. It's what beta boy cowards do and what autocrats do. They weaponize against anybody who talks against them. This designation of Antifa as a terror organization or whatever it is they did. In Cuba, they did something very similar. For those who don't know, I'm of Cuban descent, born in New York. My father served in the U.S. Army. We left Cuba way before Castro. And in 1946, my family immigrated out of Cuba. But it's the same playbook that we're seeing. It's the same playbook. And this politicization and attacking of the opponents, it's exactly what Castro did, exactly what Putin does. He actually poisons and kills his opponents. The guy who came to tell him to get rid of the mail-in ballots is his beacon of democracy. Vladimir Putin is who is directing American democratic policy. Fucked up. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Heard it. Obviously, another thing I want to go before I get any further. I'm actively seeing the change in this app. This is not a free speech app. This is not a stop with the lies. What am I lying about, yo, dude? Come on, use your words. What am I lying about? Antifa is funded. Antifa is bullshit. Antifa is anti-fascist. So if it's funded, it's a good thing because we are seeing a fascist regime. You dumbass. Antifa stands for anti-fascism. So if you are Antifa, you are against fascism, dumbass. See, and that's what we're dealing with. Just ignorance and hatred. So, getting back to facts. In the Alligator Alcatraz, there's 1,200 detainees missing. They were never there. They don't know who they were. Families know they were there. They were taken. But now they don't know where they are. The transparency, right? They don't know where they are. But again, since the oligarchy owns the media and what you're hearing and what you are getting, they're not really talking about that. Over the weekend, there was again right-wing extremists going out and murdering people in a church. They're not saying it. The ignorance, the hatred, and the violence has to end. Stop killing each other, motherfuckers. Use your fucking words. Use your words. And esto va directo a Bad Bunny. Mi brother, tienes que llamarme, por favor. Necesito hablar con tu gente. This goes directly to Bad Bunny. I need to speak to you, my brother. I need to speak to you porque yo he soñado que Puerto Rico es el 51 estado. Well deserved. I dreamed already signing legislation in the Oval Office to make Puerto Rico the 51st state. I don't know if that's really what Puerto Ricans want, but the fact is that I dreamed of doing that, giving it full statehood and putting the full power, giving Puerto Ricans the full power that they so richly deserve, because Puerto Ricans have fought in every war that this country has battled. So my brothers and sisters, because I have blood cousins that are Puerto Rican, I love you. And Latinos unidos and minorities unidos, united is how we defeat the ignorance and hatred that should have been addressed from the beginning. That's why I said one of my first executive orders is going to be to change the name of our house. Our house will forever be known as America's house. I'm going to remove any ignorance or any moron who thinks that it's called the White House because it belongs to white people or it represents whiteness or has anything moronic to do with that. It's our house. So it's going to be America's house. And that's going to go a long way to dampen out the ignorance and hatred we're feeling, we're living against. So Bad Bunny, mi brother, I love you. The NFL, God bless you guys. I love you guys. I love you. I love what you're doing. And Bad Bunny brings that message of love. And that is that what I keep saying. You see it in some of my posts, in a lot of my posts. That is that beautiful, talented American diversity that they fear most. My brother Bad Bunny. That is it. That is what they fear. The talent, the diversity that we bring. Because they are beta boy bitches who fear everything, especially women. This little guy, I'm sure he's terrified of women. Might be a wife abuser. Because that's who they are. So Bad Bunny, mi brother, llámame, brother. You guys need to get a hold of me. Yo los necesito ustedes. Latinos, unidos. Minorities, unidos. Black, brown, white, everybody. That's why I say we're building a rainbow mafia. Of every nationality, of every color, of every belief. Because we the people means all of us, means we the people. And we've lost that message. Because beta boy bitches who fell ass backwards into wealth, declared themselves geniuses, and bought enough media and bought enough airtime and have bought all the TV stations, because that is another one that I'm going to end right away, this monopoly bullshit. That game we played as a kid, the idea behind it was to teach us what the monopolies were not good. But it was repackaged and sold as, hey, you win in Monopoly, you're the good guy. Meanwhile, you screwed everybody on the board. And we can have one company decide what millions of Americans get to see at home in the privacy of their home on television, because daddy decided that, oh, we don't like the message. We want you to praise a youth groomer of 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Paid, highly paid by white, crusty, old pedophiliacs and sexual predators to groom and to infect the minds of young Americans with ignorance and hatred and racism for fellow Americans, for your own people, just because they have a different color, just because they're a different sex, just because they love somebody different, just because they preach to a different God, religion. That's not a nation built on freedom. So I'll show you all the Founding Fathers quotes on how they did not want any type of religion to be part of their government. They went out of their way to make sure that there was no religion in their nation. But the freedom to preach to your religion. So please stop killing each other. Stop killing each other over stupid shit, because it just plays into the autocracy so that they can point fingers and say, oh, look, we can't have it. Because that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. I said it back November, the day after the election, on Facebook. I posted step by step what was going to happen, and everything has happened. And their goal is to cancel, to postpone the midterm elections. Trust me, that's what this is all about. Every one of these right-wing assassinations and mass shootings, because they're all them, they're going to try and turn around and say that it's the radical left agenda. Yeah, the radical left agenda wants you to have health care. The radical agenda wants children to eat school at lunch and have breakfast. The radical left agenda wants seniors to be able to go to the doctor, for you to be able to get the health care you need, for women to be able to get the reproductive health they care for and they need to live healthy lives. That's the radical left agenda. But because they have the money to buy the airtime and to spread their messages of ignorance and hatred. Because I was getting right away when I started this, I was getting 300, 400 views right away. Now, I can barely get 80. And that's you guys sharing it, and you guys, the loyal viewers, the people who understand that this is a freedom that the founding fathers fought the biggest army on the world for, and a freedom that they don't want you to have. That's why independent voices like mine don't get spread, don't get heard, but hey, do something stupid and you'll get 1 million views overnight. But even as it is, thanks to you guys, we've reached over 1 million views, well over 1 million views. And let me tell you, the vast majority understands what I'm saying and feels the need for one of us to lead our nation. Someone who has lived the American experience, someone who has lived the American struggle, someone who has freaked out because you don't have enough money to meet your bills and to pay your rent and to pay your kids' school. But you figured it out and you did it. And you survived. That's leadership. Not falling ass backwards into wealth and never have to worry about anything because you got people taking care of it. That's not leadership. That's not what we need. We need a president to make the lives better of everyone. And I know for a fact that, because I asked in one of my videos, what type of president do you want? And a handful, because the overwhelming majority agrees that we need a president that is by and for the people. But again, the little beta replies are, oh, we got the president we want. We got exactly the president we want. And I say, yes, I know. I know, Binky. I know you have the president you want because you peaked in middle school. It's been a downhill slide of ignorance, hatred, addictions, and minimum wage jobs ever since. So you don't want a president to make your life better. You want a president to make the lives of others worse so you feel better about your pathetic little existence. And I know. We see it. We see it because if you're a Christian, you cannot be with teenage girls, women, children being disappeared, being treated like animals and put in cages instead of finding out what it is they need and empowering them. So the vast majority of people who leave their nations, leave their countries, are searching for opportunity, searching for better lives, running from dictatorships, running from ignorance and hatred. So they're proud now that, hey, nobody's coming to the border. The border is secure. Nobody's coming. No shit, motherfuckers. People don't run to dictatorships. People came to America because we were the shining light, that beacon of freedom and democracy and opportunity that the founding fathers envisioned. Not a scared little beta boy bitch that, oh no, I can only like white people. I want a white town. I don't want to see anybody. I say, yeah, motherfucker, you want a white town? Fine. No tacos, no pizza, no barbecue, because even barbecue's black. So you can have boiled meat and corn. And the corn, we're going to have to get a release from the Native Americans because that's kind of their product. So boiled beef is what you can eat in your white towns. Can't have any spices. Spices come from all over the world. So you can't have any spices. No taco, no pizza, no gyros, no Chinese food, no Japanese food, no nothing. Just white food. Meatloaf and boiled meats. Because ignorance and hatred is the bastion, is the home of fear. That's why they want to scare everybody. Oh, them. You're more likely to be killed by a right-wing extremist than by any immigrant at any time in the history of America. Look it up. So again, I love you guys. I love every single one of you. Even little, you see, it was only been one of you. Of all the people, we got Lisa, we got Tommy, we got Brandon. I love you guys. Anissa Maria, I love you. Janine, hope I said that right. Even Grandpa, love you guys. We are the greatest nation on the planet. And, you know, I keep saying that, and I've asked myself, has it been the greatest nation on the planet to me? It hasn't. My own family, bro. I was the black sheep of the family. My own family all distanced themselves from me because they don't want to be black. I have black blood. I have black, white, Latino, European, African, South American, Middle Eastern, European, Iberian, Caribbean, all in my DNA. That's why I say I'd be the first American president to actually represent every single one of you, because I have every single one of you in my blood. That's why I love every single one of you. Every single one of you I have in my blood. And I'll prove it. I'll post my DNA. But the bigger point here is that these platforms are not going to be any use beyond, you know, reaching a handful of people and who you guys share. So please invite people, have them share my words. What I do is I record these lives and then I post them on the Crazy and Impossible YouTube channel. I don't know if that'll even be allowed to be said on this platform anymore. But the bottom line is that I love you. I love every single one of you. And I know that we the people deserve better. I know you deserve better. I know your grandkids, your children deserve better, because after 4 years, it's going to be a full rebuild. We need creative, talented, just like the men who wrote the Declaration of Independence, who were talented, regular men. They weren't politicians. They weren't billionaires. They were regular, talented Americans. Writers, cobbler, a shoemaker, a scientist, an artist. These were the men who founded this nation. So that's what we need. We need talented, intelligence, and love. And that will overcome all the ignorance and hatred that this regime is putting out. Chris, my brother, I love you guys. Sunshine, welcome. I love you. I love every American. I love everyone. We are the melting pot of the world, and what made this nation great is that. I remember it. I saw it. I lived it. We partied like hell, but we enjoyed freedom. And yeah, there were malevolent people out there, malevolent forces out there trying to distract and working behind the scenes to create these monopolies, to build these monopolies. Whenever I saw all the mergers in America, I said, those are not good. None of those mergers are good. None of those mergers are good, because you're doing is you're putting more and more power and less hands. That's not good. That is communism. That is the picture of communism, where a handful run everything. It's not freedom. It's not democracy. It's not representational government. When only a handful can shut off a television program for millions of Americans, solely based on ignorance and hatred, and wanting to celebrate an individual who solely trafficked in ignorance and hatred for fellow Americans. So I ask you, what kind of president do you want? Do you want a billionaire? Do you want another millionaire? Do you want a career politician? Or for once, do you want someone like you? Someone like your dad. Doesn't have to be me. It could be your dad. It could be your uncle, your brother. It could be you. Stand up. Speak. I've posted all my policies on this platform and on the YouTube channel. There's so many of them now because I'm trying to be on everyone. But if you look around, Crazy and Impossible, you will find my messages all around. And please share them. Google it so the algorithm picks it up. And you decide. Do you want more of the same? Someone to come out of these 2 millionaire classes and sell you the illusion that you're electing one of you to be president? Or do we really build a mechanism to elevate one of us, someone like you, to be our next president? The requirement is to be 35 years old and an American-born resident, American-born citizen. I smashed both of those, as I'm sure a bunch of you also. So send me your ideas. We are a representational government. And I'm going to say it again, and I've said it a million times. The only purpose of government is to make the lives better of its residents, of its citizens. Not to be your daddy, not to tell you who to vote for, or who to love, or how to dress, or what color your hair should be, or what color mate you should have, or what sex mate you should have. That's not the job of government. The sole job of government is to make your life better. However, you, a free American, chooses to live your life. And every day we're getting further from that founding fathers' vision of freedom. Because beta boy bitches who fell ass backwards into wealth want to control everything. And right now they are. The monopolies owned by the same little groups of people own everything. All these social media platforms are owned by a handful. Didn't start off that way. There were different companies. But we are a nation that's become monopolized. Everything is owned by a handful. No matter what you do, no matter what you buy, no matter what you say, it's filtered through the same handful of systems, organizations, and people. So it's up to you, my beautiful, diverse American people. I love you. I love every single one of you. And I ask you, and I demand that you ask, and that you demand better. You demand better. Franklin Roosevelt said it. I'll post it. The president is not the government. The Senate is not the government. A senator is not the government. It's you. It's us. It's the people. It's the voters. And that's why they're doing everything they can to try and manipulate the votes. Missouri is no longer a democratic constitutional republic. It is not a constitutional republic, period. The voters made a decision, and the beta boy bitch follower governor said no. They overturned the will of the voters. That's not a constitutional republic. I hate to tell you, Missouri. You live in an autocratic beta boy bitch autocracy beneath a fledgling dictatorship in progress. Unless J.D. Vance is buying them. That's why in the Midwest, their farms going down every day. Between the lack of personnel, they're selling their animals at higher prices than they ever have. but they're selling fewer animals because they had to get rid of a large part of their flock. So yeah, JD's got a company ready to sell those American farms to foreign investors out of Australia, out of wherever white people are coming from. And he's ready to sell American farmers' properties. So we see that it's not about we the people. It's not about empowering Americans. It's about lining their pockets. That's it. That's it. So I said it, bro. If I would have been one of these billionaires and Orange Turd came up to me and told me, "Oh, I'm going to make you so much richer. I'm going to make you so much richer," I would have said, "No, thank you, brother. I'm rich already. I have everything I need right now. I need you to make the rest of Americans richer. I need you to make the lowest, the poorest people a little richer. Not me. I've got plenty." That's patriotism. We don't have that. We have beta boy bitch who just are greed. It's just greed driven. Oh, I want more. And the more I got and the less everybody else has. Because crime is a product of poverty. Crime is a product of despair. So if you want to fix crime, you don't put in the military. You address the humanity issues. But cowards need militaries, need guns, need to bark louder, like the little barking dog. They need to bark loud because that's what they think is strength. I know. It is insane. To a certain degree, it's like a switch clicked. There's different theories out there. Some that say that our galaxy fell in a black hole, and that's why there's so many bizarre and backwards things, because, we're literally celebrating groomers and pedophiles and protecting people who harm children and harm Americans, and it makes no sense. So that's what I'm saying. We're going to have training education centers to deal with hate, because I think hate needs to be dealt with as a mental illness, as a disease that it is. And we need leadership fueled by love and intelligence that empowers Americans. It's in my policies. A reimagined small business administration that will actively break up all the monopolies and return commerce to we the people. Put businesses back. I'm tired of going city to city, state to state, and seeing the same crap of the same franchises, the same toilet, the same signs, the same garbage across the country. It wasn't like that. You used to go city to city, state to state, and you see the diversity. You see the different foods. You smell the different foods, hear the different rhythms, the different music, the different lifestyles. It was beautiful. It was a melting pot of brilliance, of the God-given diversity, because no matter how you look at it, diversity is in everything. From the universe to the most healthy forest ecosystems, be it a drop of water, be it an ocean, be it a forest, be it a stream, the healthiest ecosystems are the most diverse. And as far as I know, humanity is part of nature. So to deny our diversity is to deny our nature. Everyone saying that diversity is a bad thing can read at a second or third grade level or lower collectively, if at all. They're parroting ignorance and hatred that they're hearing from these troglodytes. But the bigger thing, guys, the bigger thing is stop killing each other. Stop unaliving each other. Love, man. Love. Love and intelligence is what will lead us out of this nightmare. I love you. I love every single one of you. We the people, guys. So, Bad Bunny, llámame, papi, llámame, 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 ¿ok? Necesito tu amor, necesito tu elegancia, necesito tu fuerza. I need your elegance, I need your strength, I need your power. We need a real American to lead us out of this ignorance and hatred, golden age of ignorance and hatred that we've been thrust into by ignorance and hatred. So, Bad Bunny, te quiero, mi brother. Congratulations. NFL, you rock. You rock. The next video will be all NFL behind me. And this is because it's playoff time, baby. Best time for baseball. And, of course, you see where my passion is. My Bronx-born elegance and beauty and handsomeness that I bring to you, my beautiful, diverse American people. And just hoping that you think and understand that we deserve better. This is not who we are. This is not their thing. Oh, Biden deported more and Obama, the porter in chief. Yeah, bro, they did. They used the law to deport the people that should not be in the country. They did it legally. They did it effectively. They did it quietly. They didn't have to bark loud. They didn't have to send in military. They didn't have to jump and pout and weaponize and call Americans leftists. And you don't want to be called a fascist? Don't act like one. Start there. Of course it's the Yankees, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean you better? It better not be the Yankees. What do you see behind you, brother? The babe. The Mick. I was born 2 blocks from Yankee Stadium. It's only the Yankees, bro. 27 world champions. We're coming for 28. And let me tell you, for you baseball fans, I'm a long, die-hard baseball fan. I've played the game for over 40 years at the semi-pro, amateur level. I never played major leagues or anything like that. But I played all my life at a fairly high level because these are high-level amateur leagues. And the last tournament I played, I had the privilege and honor to play against a team comprised of mostly Cuban Olympic players, which are, literally the pros in Cuba. And I pitched 8 innings against the team that was the Havana team. We were called we were the Savages. We played against Havana. This is in great Gibson Park in Overtown, Miami-Dade, Florida. We played in this tournament, and we played in the championship game against the team from Cuba. During that season, I pitched against them. It was an 8-inning. I guess I gotta call it myself, a masterpiece against these guys, because it was 2-1 into the 8th inning, and their third baseman, who I think to this day is still like the number 2 and number 3 all-time home run hitter in Cuban baseball history, hit a 3-run homer off of me in the 8th inning. We lost the game 4-1. But, I mean, every one of them came to me and shook my hand and then just said, wow, bro, you congrats you gave us everything we could handle. I mean, and like I said, I'm a nobody. And it just fits in, and the reason I'm telling you is because I am a nobody, And this crazy and impossible desire that I'm talking to you about is literally the biggest challenge, the biggest zero to hero endeavor that anyone has ever taken on. I'm not rich. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I cannot buy a presidency like the current holder did. I can't. But I know that I can be much better at it than someone who fell ass backwards into wealth, declared themselves a genius, and is destroying the greatest nation the world has ever seen, brick by brick, ignorance by ignorance, hatred by hatred. And I think we deserve better. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. For the Yankees to win, it's going to be tough. Yeah, there is no... I mean, Jazz is a good, coming player. But again, he's a young guy. He's not, fully seasoned. This will be his first, real playoff experience after a full season. So let's see. I mean, the beauty of baseball is that magic, and what I think why I love baseball so much, and why to me baseball is a reflection of America in every sense of the way, because you look at every team, and every team is diverse. There are people from literally all over the world that make up Major League Baseball. Every team has players from all over the world, and baseball has been through every national emergency. Baseball was our biggest a tool in recovering from the September 11th attacks that changed our nation, that created this fear that they've weaponized and saw gold, because for the first time ever we experienced fear. We were attacked at home. Never happened before. So it changed us. Out of that came that see something, say something, which was very effective. It went a long way to catching a lot of those bad people in our country. They didn't have to weaponize the military. It was strategic, it was targeted, and it worked. But malevolent forces saw that fear was gold. Yeah, baseball. But that fear that came out of September 11th was gold. And they saw that it was gold. So they started to fester it. It wasn't just see something, say something. It became, what's your neighbor doing? Not in his garage, in his house, in his bedroom. What does your neighbor have in his pants? Which, in the America I grew up in, and a lot of you did also, that fell under the none ya category. Ain't none ya fucking business what a free American has in their pants. Who they love. What they do in their bedroom. None ya damn business. But fear and weaponized fear became very profitable. You see the rise in surveillance and security companies and just the continued where freedom is almost a bad word now. So we need to get back to the founding fathers' vision of a nation built on freedom. And even though they did not include all of us, they did not include all of Saul, because they knew the age that they were living in. But even that document is democracy. The document itself is democracy, because I'm sure that they didn't all agree on assigning percentages to human lives, to human beings. I'm sure there were some, there were slave owners that said, no, absolutely not. No rights at all. Zero. And the other side said, no, they're human beings. They have every right that everybody else gets. It's freedom. It's for everyone. So there was a big divide, no question. So the democracy that they were building and the democratic process that they employed learned from Native Americans. They came to a compromise. And that horrific, deplorable assigning of percentages made that document democratic. It was a compromise, which is what democracy is. So these states that just want to eradicate democracy out of their voting systems is empowering dictatorship. It's not what they're calling it, but that's the only logical answer. That's the only thing it is. So, again, I've gone much longer than I want. I love you guys. I love every single one of you, man. And we need we need leadership that's fueled by love and intelligence. Go to my site, share my go to my profile, share my thoughts, share my words, share my policies. The border, let's make a border an empowerment center. So people looking for empowerment, we can educate them and train them. I'm not trying to make them slave labor for future factories that you want to build. Because that's what they're doing. There we go, here we go. President Trump getting us back there. Back to what, brother? Back to ignorance and hatred? God bless President Trump getting us back. There we go, the barking chihuahuas, because that's all they got. They don't have any ideas. They don't have any, and it's just, yes, president, because we're followers. We are not leaders. We don't know what fucking leadership is if it hit us in the ass. Because we all just follow. Whatever the man says, we follow, because is brilliant out of his mouth. Because we don't know. We can barely read. God bless President. He's just like Jesus. Yep, we know. We know, Mark. Well, just Mark. I know. You think he's just like Jesus. Yeah, I know, Mark. Just go back smoking your meth and drinking your Bud Light and smoking your Marlboros in your trailer, and we'll take care of the rest. Let us people who read books lead through love and intelligence for you, because you obviously don't know what it is. You've been treated like a dumbass all your life. You don't want the president to make your life better, Mark. You don't want the president to make the lives of others worse. So you feel better about your pathetic little self, your little affliction. We know. Your women know. That's why you fear them so much. But I'm sorry, I make fun. God bless you guys. I love every single one. I love you, Mark. I love you, buddy. You're like that barking little dog. You can't hate that barking little dog because he doesn't know any better. You've been weaponized against yourself. You don't want a president to make your life better. We know. You want a president to make the lives of others worse. Like that, you feel better about your pathetic existence. We know. Yo hablo múltiple idioma. Yo entiendo más idioma que tú lo que te puedas imaginar. And what I just said, Mark, is that I understand and speak multiple languages and can communicate in languages that you can't even begin to imagine to understand. Because you read at a second or third grade level. And you watch Fox News all day, or Newsmax, or whatever, right-wing psychobabble. That's why when I'm president, the first thing I'm going to do is reinstate the truth doctrine. So all that bullshit that they're feeding you, all that ignorance and hatred that you're getting spoon-fed every day, will end. It's in my policies. I've laid them all out for you guys. God bless you. God bless the American people. Crazy and impossible. This is crazy and impossible to think that a regular, middle-of-the-road American, son of a U.S. soldier, who's Not a billionaire, not a millionaire, not a politician, not a Democrat, not a Republican, not a communist, not a socialist, not a Marxist, not a libertarian, just a fucking American could want to be president. And I know it fucks you guys up to hear a brown man who's openly and excitedly and proudly Latino speak with such conviction and such strength in my fucking voice, because you're a bunch of little beta boy bitches who only know how to follow. I'm talking about real American cojones is what I'm bringing to the presidency. Something that hasn't been there for years. Only beta boy bitch cowardice. I love you. I love my country. I love you, every single one of you. And my DNA proves that I'm black, white, Latino, Native, European, African, South American, Central American, Eastern European, Middle Eastern, Central American, Iberian, Caribbean. I am you. I am the American people. So let's for once elevate one of us. Like I said, it doesn't have to be me. It could be just Mark. It could be just Mark. If just Mark says, yeah, we are the most powerful nation on the planet, and I love all our people, because everyone has value. And this country would not exist without the immigrants that brought us pizza, that brought us Chinese food, that brought us Cuban food, Puerto Rican food, that brought us the names of all your towns, of all your streets. Because people who look like me have been on this continent way before any of you white boys have. Brown people been here way before any of you. So we got every right to be here. And I believe in progress. I believe in prosperity. I don't believe in a nation that's rich. I believe in a nation that is prosperous. And you measure a prosperity of a nation by the lack of poverty, the lack of hunger, the lack of despair, the lack of violence, random, crazy, dumbass violence in the streets, fueled by ignorance and hatred. That's how you feel. That's how you measure prosperity. By the love that a nation has for its people, not the ignorance and hatred it thrusts upon them. Yeah, it's a very different vision. It's a vision of love and intelligence over a vision of ignorance and hatred. I love you. I'm George Dallara. I want to be your next president. Not a millionaire, not a billionaire, not a politician. I'm just like you. A regular, middle-of-the-road American, an entrepreneur by life, a lifelong artist, amateur baseball player, and loving individual. So much that this guy just adopted me. I didn't want a pet, but this little guy just, look at him. Look at this face. How can I say no? Look at him. Look at this face. How can I say no to him? Love and intelligence. So this guy is GRANITE, a powerful, strong leader name, and the granite and strength of our nation and our people of every color, of every nationality, of every background. We the people. I love you. Say bye, GRANITE. GRANITE, he just wants to take a nap. Now it's his nap time. So God bless you. I'm going to go back to working on some paintings that I've got in the works. We the people are the rightful masters of both the courts and the Congress, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who would pervert our Constitution. Those are the words of Abraham Lincoln. I love you. I love every one of you. We the people. John, welcome. User 791120. I love you. We the people, baby. We the people. We the people. Crazy and impossible. This is crazy and impossible. Please share. Please share, because the oligarchy is not going to promote my words. They're shutting this down. This is not a free speech platform. This is not a political platform. They want just fluffy, cute little stuff. Look, this guy, see? This is the guy that gets all the views and all the love. And hey, maybe Granite is the force we need. God bless you guys. God bless you. God bless the American people. I'm George Delata. I want to be your next president. The first president to truly represent every American by DNA, and a promise to lead by love and intelligence for you. God bless you. Oh, sorry.